Hello, I'm Brennig Moore. I'm a founder and the technical director here at Astutis. One of my notable memories of that first year of starting Astutis, it's relentless really, it's a fantastic set of memories. I can remember the first time Mike Jenkins and his team down at the design studio revealed the name Astutis to us after we'd spent months trying to come up with a name ourselves. After a couple of months locked in a back bedroom writing course notes, I can remember us moving into this office for the first time, and Steve and I going over to an office in Newport and picking up a van load of second-hand office furniture to equip the office. I remember delivering our first managing safely to Spire Healthcare Group in Bristol, our first NEBOSH General Certificate with 4 learners who all passed, bringing in Paul and Helen into the business to help us develop our first online learning courses. Yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster really, but it was all fantastic. I remember it like it was yesterday. So how has Astutis evolved over the years? When we started the business, obviously a lot of emphasis was put into classroom training because that's what we knew. That was a traditional way of working. But I think we saw early that learning technologies were improving and people were becoming more accepting of sort of online learning and learning in less traditional, non-classroom ways. So we invested quite early in that development of online courses. I can remember developing our first courses in Flash and then moving to HTML5 and eventually now we've moved to use of rapid authoring tools. So we've got a suite of NEBOSH, IOSH and IEMA sort of qualifications online. We're looking to develop a suite of shorter courses for our clients as well, which we're quite excited about at the moment. And as well, we've also got into virtual training quite early. I can remember we developed our Online Plus offering for the diploma in terms of traditional online learning to a set schedule with webinar support from tutors. And then when the world changed a year or so ago with COVID and the first lockdown, classroom training was unavailable, and many of our clients and learners decided to move into the virtual classroom world to keep up with their studies. That's gone really well, and we continue to try to improve our virtual classroom offering, long may it continue. So what are the biggest changes I've seen in the industry? Obviously I go back a fair bit before Astutis. I've been working in health and safety generally for over 30 years now. So I think it'd be fair to say you go back to the late 80s and early 90s and health and safety and enforcement perhaps didn't have the best of reputations, seen as an inconvenience, something that got in the way of work and productivity and money making and so on. I think definitely over the 30 years of my career that has changed. I think lots of big organisations, big corporates, and not just in the high hazard sectors, in more everyday sort of working environments as well, understand the damage that accidents and incidents in the workplace can cause, and recognise the value of having a safety professional on the team to help make sure that their people are safe and that the organisation is compliant and maintains a good reputation. So I think it's fair to say in general terms that's probably happened over the last 30 years. I mean, certainly there are still plenty of poor employers out there who don't take it as seriously as they should. I think maybe with COVID and that impact, which is a public health and an occupational health impact. I think again maybe lots of organisations now are recognising the value of having somebody who understands health and safety risks and is able to offer sensible, proportionate, pragmatic advice on how to manage that in the workplace. So again, hopefully that'll continue going forward. on the learning side, on the training side, as we've said, there are definite moves away from the classroom. The younger generations embracing more modern technologies, learning through their phones, through their laptops, through their tablets, wanting shorter, punchier sort of learning, wanting gamification and to actually have fun as they learn, and a sense of competition. And of course, we have to keep up with all of these changes, and we have to embrace that, and we have to try to deliver what our maturing audience actually wants. Yeah, what are Astutis' most notable accomplishments over the years? I remain eternally sort of proud of what we've achieved over the last 10 years. And if you'd said to me when we started that we would still be here and thriving 10 years later, I'm not sure I would have believed you back then. And even with COVID, we're still here and we're still doing really, really well as a business. So 10 years worth of memories. I remember taking an inquiry from a learner called Alex Warner, who turned out to be our first NEBOSH diploma learner, and delivering that first week of NEBOSH diploma course up at Birchwood Conference Centre in Warrington, which was probably 9 years ago, I guess. I can remember we had supply chain pressure to put ISO 9001 in place, and that was something that was a bit new to me. So I facilitated the implementation of ISO 9001 into the business in the first instance, and achieving that was a little highlight. When we opened the Gulf office in Dubai in 2015, and I became general manager of the business over there, again another highlight. And probably more recently, maybe achieving NEBOSH Gold Learning Partner status, and being able to show the world how respected we are by the examining body. Okay, so what's our greatest technical strength? I think we start, as health and safety professionals, we try to make sure that we've got people who are at least graduate members of IOSH, if not chartered health and safety practitioners, with a good range of industrial and management experience to deliver our courses, so they can draw on that experience, and use their anecdotes and so on to bring the subject to life. So that's our starting point. When we look then at online training and transitioning our classroom courses into something that works well as an online course for an independent learner, for somebody who's self-studying. We've got a fantastic team there. We've got people with really high level learning design skills who can take what we're doing in the classroom and transform it into something that will work online. We've got really creative people, graphic designers, multimedia people, animators, videographers, page setters and type designers and so on, that will put their effort into making our materials look really, really good. And of course all of that is supported by a big back office staff on the admin and support side that makes sure that everything works the way it needs to work. So everybody's got a part to play, and I think we've managed to pull together a fantastic team over the years.